Oh, hang on a minute. Back to lighting. Centerpieces and lighting. Okay? You can hardly see it, but these were about yay tall, purple, hot pink and purple glittered pea for this particular party. What this needed though was it needed pin spotting. Okay, to make that glimmer and glitter, but they didn't have it. If they had had a spotlight on that table, they would have stood out and worked really, really well. But because they didn't have the budget or the time in the room set up to do that, we threw some candles around it to try and get some reflection on it, but in a sense it was a waste of glitter because it was just too dark to really be effective. So be aware of that too. Here's another before. So inviting. After. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Red roses. But look at it here. Your red roses almost look black. Dark, deep red flowers or dark flowers in your ballrooms, you're dealing with low light. Okay? White looks fantastic, but if you're looking with dark coloured flowers, you need to make sure that you've got an overhead light on them. Okay, lighting from above, so that they will spot out and shine. Because otherwise they're just going to be permanently in shadow and they're just going to be black. And you're dealing with low light situations in most ballrooms. As I said, white flowers looks really, really good. But white flowers without the spotlight on them still disappear. But you add some lights to them so that you're picking it up. And we've actually added lights in here, going up. Now, here it is no lights on those. They've got sparkles coming down, fine, it's catching a bit of light there and there, but there's no lights actually on the flowers. But now we're catching the flowers and we're also catching some of the branches, and it just brings it to life. It adds dimension to the piece, and the light will also attract attention and make it a feature. You can't do theming without light. If you're going to go to the trouble of putting things into an event, light it. I love this. This was one of my favourites. Because I was allowed to do it the way I wanted to do it. That's another challenge actually, and that's a really big thing you need to understand as an event person coming in from event styling. You know, I might have my design skills, but ultimately I'm here to service what the client wants. So if they want foo-foo la-la, as much as they go, well, I hate foo-foo la-la, you know, I have to give it to them, and I have to try and meet and create their vision, not mine, theirs. Okay, so you need to remember that when it comes to event styling, it really is all about them. It's not about you. You're using your skills and knowledge to support what they want to create. That's what they come to you for. But it's not about what you want to create, it's about what they want to see. So I might be the best event stylist out in the world, but I've still had to create some pretty big things. Developing concepts, and this is where we get to it. You know, it is a process. It's a process of great questioning, lots of discussion and tweaking. I personally find that normally you could ask a lot of questions. What do they see? What are they looking at? What do they want? What do they want out of it? You know, what is their aim? What is their goal? So you've got to ask a lot of questions. What have they got? How much is the money? Why do they never want to answer that question? I don't know, but they don't. I think for some people they think that if you don't tell them how much money they've got to spend, that you'll spend less. Really? Anyway, proposal styles, you know, it's a visual industry. Make sure your proposals and what you send out to clients is also visual. Support with what you're doing with what your written material is. Packages, I've never found them particularly effective. I've never found two events, even with the same theme, are ever the same. So I used to do it, I don't anymore. Options, I always give them alternatives and choices. They might have asked for one thing, but I will always give them a couple, and I will use my own experience and perspective to say, with this particular venue, I know you've asked for, you know, country, but I think if you did a denim and diamonds, it'll work better. The name sounds a bit flasher. You've got a little bit more scope. You're still doing country, but you're not doing rustic. So, you know, you can change a theme And a name, as we've said with soft forest, can be quite interesting. Tweaking is another interesting term, another industry term, where we go in and we will put together a proposal with the prices and then we will tweak it. So it is almost always over budget, and I've had clients come back to me and say, but I told you I only had 5,000, why have you come back with a proposal that says 8? Because I've given you choices. You know, I can come in at 5,000, but you never know, you might really like that other option that I had. So from here we say, which ones do we want to keep? Where do we want to go? I always give them 2 or 3 options on a centrepiece, and I give them choices. So they can either go up or they can go down, and that's the tweaking process. I hate the 3 themes, and it's a waste of time. Decide one, run with it. However, if your client asks for 3 themes, you've got to give it to them.
What if they want more than 3?
No, won't do it.
Why don't do it? You just won't do it.
No. I'm spending hours putting these things together. It's a lot of time. You're doing all this additional work. And they want 5 themes. Why? Choose 3. Is 3 not enough to choose from?
No.
Well, yes, it is in my world. No, I won't do it.
See,
I won't. I'm very politely saying, can we get it down to 3?
Confusing when, to
Too
the client.
confusing?
You give them 5 different themes and they want something from each.
Well, there's that, but the other thing is too is how much time I spend.
Yeah.
It takes hours to put together some of these proposals. You've got to drag in images, you've got to put in descriptions, you've got to find prices, you've got to source things. You know, you've got to make sure that what you're delivering to them, not only just in the formatting of the document, which you can pre-format to a degree, but you've also got to make sure the content is available. And if you've got to do that times 3, knowing only one is going to be picked, I'm not doing it times 5. You know, it's my time. So no, I won't do it. 3 quote requirements, also not a fave. But then again, it is a legal requirement in many ways, and sometimes you've just got to go with the flow. You've got to be into it. So while you might know it's a slim chance, and suss it out. You do, after a while, you get to know who are the ones who are doing the 3 quotes. And if they keep coming back to you for a quote, but they keep hiring the other guy, there comes a point where you say, you know what, go bother somebody else. You know, am I really going to have a chance at this job? Or are you just satisfying the 3 quote requirement? And if you're just satisfying the 3 quote requirement, great, here, I'll send you what I sent last year, and we'll move on and save myself the time. I can be a bit ruthless sometimes in business, especially when I'm busy. You know, I want to give them the best service I can, but I don't like being run around either. I also, mind you, having said that, I will do it with the utmost respect, politeness, and professional. I just don't tell them to nick off. You know, I will just explain to them that I'm sorry, I'm really busy this week, I don't have time to do that. Or I'll give them some other reason that is professionally acceptable to not go there, that doesn't hinder my reputation as a service provider, but also doesn't waste my time. I think we're ready for lunch just about. Are we? Couple more minutes? Okay. Right, has anybody got questions? Yeah, fire away.
The ones where you've got the shimmer curtaining, how long will they take you to hang them?
Oh, it depends on where I'm hanging them, but it doesn't take long.
And what's the item that you might put on the bottom to give it the weight?
You don't.
You know,
No, there's nothing at the bottom.
So you just let them
ones
flow.
like colours.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the attractiveness of shimmer curtain. It's like you use double-sided tape on it. I bought my toolbox today. Now, this has been partly converted already to my household toolbox. But, and this is a small one. I normally carry a much bigger one. Essentials. Staple gun. Pens. Pens frequently on site end up getting worn here. So when hugging people, be careful. Event jewellery. These are our bracelets. Frequently seen on our arms. And then, of course, we utilise other parts of our body. And that's a very good place to keep wire cutters. And or scissors occasionally.
You may as
We
well
use
wear
what we have.
overalls.
You know, yes, I generally don't go in a suit to work. But, you know, you use what you have. And when you've got multiple things to do, Body jewellery, you know, I often walk around an event and I will have gaff tape, I'll have double-sided tape, I'll have these if I don't have pockets, I'll have them shop in the bra, wherever I can stick them so that they're handy. These are my favourite tool of all time. Favourite tool of all time. I
Looks
love
like we
mine.
don't argue with her.
Oh, other favourite tool of all time, is it in here? I think it's in the kitchen. Oh, yeah.
Standing up.
The things you find in my handbag. You know, seriously, a Athenian lady's handbag will contain that, It will have pens, it will have scissors. Quite often it will have a staple gun. And then you'll have this beautiful, there's my handbag, hang on just a second, I'll show you my handbag. It is beautiful.
So don't mess with them, at least you might be harmed.
At least she's gonna make you look pretty when she gets you.
She's got the weaponry.
She might cut your hair, Jeffrey.
Nah.
Sorry. Yeah, she'll pin you to the wall.
I should have brought it out earlier. A toolbox in disguise. What have I got in here today? Keeping in mind I've been doing a few things. I'll tell you that. Let's go for the bag for the bottom. Okay, we've got pens, pencils. Oh, here we go. Wire cutters. Zip ties.
Oh, yeah.
What else is
Please
in
don't
here?
get pulled over by a police officer.
Yeah, the police will be wondering why you got zip tied. Who are you tying up?
And today I've actually even got my battery charger, my battery tester. Excuse me. So things we find in my handbag. I haven't got a lipstick in there, by the way.
You're the kitchen sink.
With your events and everything that you do,
Yeah.
what if you had to actually
How do you
travel
stop
tours?
it?
How would you keep it secure?
Well, first of all, I have to have learnt the hard way to check the handbag before I go to the airport.